Hello everybody, welcome back to All Leeds TV with me, Conor, and Joe.
Now then people.
And we're here just to do a little bit of a championship review, looking at the teams that have been promoted, the teams that have been demoted, and just the rest of us lucky sods who are still in this wonderful, wonderful league. So the first really of the promoted teams, and the big one who've done so well, I believe they finished on 94 or 96 points, Luton Town. Joe, what's your view on them, mate?
Yeah, so brand new in the Championship. I haven't been there for 12 years. I think it's their third promotion in 6 years. So they've obviously got something going right at the club. New manager as well. Nathan Jones, as we know, went to Stoke. I think Graham Jones replaced him. Still managed to continue to do well, and as I say, they stormed the league. I think it was 94 points they finished on, and they've come up from League One and gone straight up. You know, so when you get successive promotions, it shows you're doing something right.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and the transition can be quite seamless, can't it, from League One to the Championship? We've got a good squad. Not done much in the obviously window right yet, but Callum McManaman, it's a step in the right direction, isn't it? I mean. If you're trying to consolidate in this league, and yeah, fair play to them. So yeah, the developments at the minute, there's not really much more to say, but it'll be an exciting time when they're back in there. You know, it's nice to see one of the old-fashioned grounds as well, isn't it? Yeah. Right, guys, and the next team who came up once again stormed the league and quite frankly were beaten by a Luton side, but Jesus Christ, when you think, I think Barnsley finished on 91 points, which is just 91. To say we finished on 85 points when we went up that season, you know, back in 09-10. It's a massive achievement for Barnsley. They've bounced straight back, which is what you want to do, innit, when you're coming back from League One, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, and they've got some young, exciting players. I know you've got a friend who's an avid Barnsley fan, and
the one friend I've got.
Yeah. Got Woodrow and Brown on new deals as well. Yeah. And I know you touched on earlier. We spoke earlier about the kid Pinnock.
Yeah. So I mentioned it in my video, the transfer targets. Coley Woodrow, what a player! Fox in the box. You know, he's scored 18 goals this season. And he really is a quality player. And once again, like me and Joe were just saying, you've seen the transition from League One to the Championship. You know, with players like Kim Arbroath and Jermaine Beckford just off our backs, and Becchio and players like that. So it can happen. You know, he was playing for Fulham in the Premier League as well. So he is a quality player, and they're a class act. I mean, you're looking at even Bristol City, looking at that Kiefer Moore they've got up front. They're looking at 8 to 10 million, which is mad. But you know, I think they're going to be a real feature for a couple of years, Barnsley.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. Obviously, we've done a little bit of research. I've seen they had a £2 million bid rejected for, I think it was Turnbull, a midfielder from Motherwell. Yeah. But to show that they're looking to spend as well.
Real money, isn't it?
It's decent. I know $2 million doesn't sound a lot on the face of things, but Barnsley don't really ever
spend that much. And once again, it's, you know, you look at, I mean, they don't buy anyone over 25, which is an interesting policy. I don't know what you think about that. It's interesting because, I mean, I've said before as well, some clubs do that policy. I think Huddersfield tried to do it, but they couldn't do it. And I don't know if that policy had worked. Under 25s, you need a bit of experience, don't you? I mean, in that case, you know, we wouldn't even be looking at Ivan Cavallero because he's 27.
But if you look at some of the players they have bought and then sold on, you know, Stones, for example, and
Mawson, Hourihane.
Yeah. So it's worked in a sense, maybe not in terms of where they are in the league, but probably from an owner's perspective and how they run the club. I'm not sure, but it definitely won't work at a club like Leeds.
No,
do you know what I mean?
I do think they'll do quite well this season. You know, they're recruiting well, they're recruiting early as well. And that's massive in the transfer window. If you do that as a promoted side as well, we saw with Blackburn, didn't we, in Wigan last year? If you do it early, do your business early, then you're going to do all right. Charlton, Joe.
Lee Boyer,
back in the Championship.
Really good to see. Really.
And how long's that been now since they've been out? Do you know? I'm not 100%
sure. Mate, off the top of my head, as I say, we haven't done that much homework, obviously.
No, but it has been a fair, and they're a good club, Charlton. You know, it's, to be honest, I was a little bit bummed that they were coming up, to be honest, because once again it's another away day for Leeds in London, where we just don't win any London away days, do we really? But hopefully that'll change.
Yeah, I mean, they've just Johnny Williams has been released as well, which is quite interesting, because I know when we've done a little bit of homework, he's been linked with Swansea and other teams, so it's interesting to think why they would release him. But I know I do really rate him. He's just injured a lot, isn't he? Yeah. ex-Leeds pros, Nicky Ojosi, he's been released as well, but that doesn't surprise me.
Leeds legend.
But it looks like you know, it looks like they're getting some of the better players on new deals. Joe Rebo, Patrick Bauer.
Have they got a Rebo? Is Rebo on a new deal?
Well,
is
it looks that way from the homework that I've done. Jake Foster-Caskey, as I say, but Charlton fans might be watching this and thinking, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. But listen, we've done a little bit of homework. Cut us some slack.
He needs doing it, mate.
Yeah,
Consolidate. You know, if you can keep your best players like Joe Aribo, I know. I mean, he was quality last season. A lot of clubs will look. Apparently, they were Premier League scouts at the cup final. Yeah, so you know, if they can lock him down to a new deal, you know, they've got that Lyle up front, haven't they? He's a decent player as well. So you know, you keep players like that in favour, and it really is going to be a good season.
But you did a top job there, didn't
Very
they? They
good
didn't spend
job,
did they?
No,
they didn't spend nothing.
It's youth again, and it just shows that youth academies can do the job.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Cardiff, give me your thoughts.
Just really dislike them.
yeah.
Conor, apart from when he was ours, has got form in this division, hasn't he? You'd fancy them to be there or thereabouts. Maybe not winning the division for me, but they'll be there or thereabouts. And I don't think there'll be a lot of upheaval, like you might say they might be at Fulham, for example.
Etheridge, the keeper, Neil Etheridge. I mean, he was very good last year. I think he was a standout in the Prem for them. Linked with Villa and Liverpool. So which one you go to, I don't know. I don't know why you'd go to Liverpool. I guess you've got to sit on the bench. I mean, at Villa you're going to play week in, week out, aren't you? So Neil Etheridge, he was brilliant last season. Definitely a standout.
He made a couple of penalty saves, if I remember.
Well, that's what he was known for. Yeah, he
just
penalty saves in the Prem. But then, obviously, apparently looking at Will Volks as well from Rotherham. I mean, I think he was he's a quality player in the goal.
That screaming, remember the save from Keeper?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the likes of Junior Hoylett for keeping hold of him in the Championship once again.
Do you think like Medine went to Sheffield United, for example? Do you think they'll keep hold of him? He's a Championship player, isn't he? Do you reckon they'll have him leading the line or thereabouts?
It's depth in it, and it's depth. It's quality and depth. I mean, I don't think he's not going to set the league alight, is he? But he's one of those who does a job in the league. And I mean, Sheffield United get him. I think Cardiff are going to be strong this year. I do. I think they're going to. The thing is, like what me and Joe have spoken about before, is it's teams that need to go in this transition. And you look at West Brom last season, you look at Stoke last season, you look at Swansea. They've been out the Championship for so long, and they've had to have massive clear outs. Whereas you look at the ones who've come down this year, your Cardiff, your Fulham, your Huddersfield. It's been sort of 2 years max. I think the three that are coming down are going to be a lot stronger than the three that came down in previous years. Huddersfield, what leads me on nicely to Huddersfield. Joseph Losel, I think the keeper. I reckon he's going to Everton. Joe, what are your thoughts on? Obviously, you got Aaron Moy, you got Pritchard, you got
I don't think they'll keep hold of Moy.
No,
I don't think they'll keep hold of Moy. I think he's probably a level above this division, if I'm honest. And I think if I was a lower end Premier League team, I'd be looking at Moy. I do fancy one of the relegated three to drop out of the top six, as it were. I know you might think different, but maybe that'll be Huddersfield. But
the rumoured with Costa, the rumoured with Cavallero, Barber, who we were after for Brentford. Well,
that's gone quiet, hasn't it?
It's gone very quiet, so evidently that's maybe it's not a goer. But I think it's when Bielsa's come out and said he wants three wingers, and that's pretty much it. And this Ben White,
and I think that'll get done.
I think it is one of those. But I mean Huddersfield once again. Do you think they'll be strong this year?
Because as I said, I don't think all three that get relegated will make the top six for me. But like Cardiff, there's not going to be much upheaval, is there?
No.
They didn't buy anyone massive. No. They didn't pay anyone crazy wages. It's probably going to be more or less the same team that ended the season.
And I think the big thing, I was saying to you in there, wasn't I? But you look at your Stuart Webber, who was the director of football, who brought in Wagner. Wagner obviously now at Schalke. That link was brilliant when they went up. Bought in cheap, bought in quality, and we've seen that with. I mean, he's gone to Norwich, and we saw that with Norwich this year, didn't we? The recruitment was unbelievable.
It still pains me a little bit, the Buendia one, to think that we have that relationship with Cultural Lyonnaise, and then when we never got Buendia, we ended up with shite.
Crap, Usain Boy. I think that link is going to be a big miss for Huddersfield. I think that Wagner was. I think you look at where he is now, Schalke, top club in Germany. and I think that link of Webber and Wagner might be a bit of a miss with them, but I still think they'll be strong due to parachute payments. Yeah. I think we're both thinking they're going to be strong again this year.
When I was looking on, it was on Twitter, and I texted you. I think I was quite surprised. I seen Slaven Bilic has been linked to the job. I think, for me personally, I think he's a really, really good coach, really good manager. Whenever I see him, he just speaks so well. You know, sometimes you watch them pundits and you think, you know what you're talking about. Yeah. You're not just there to create headlines. You know, even if you look at, and I think he will link with the Borough job. I'm just going slightly off topic, but Liam Rosenior, he speaks so well, and Bilic is that type of commentator or pundit that I like to watch and think, do you know what, you speak so well, he knows the game so well, and I think
straight talker as well, isn't it?
I think it'd be a real coup for West Brom.
Well, he was Croatia manager, wasn't he? He was Croatia manager. He's done
West Ham,
maybe slightly harshly treated at West Ham.
Yeah. Well, they're crazy. They think they should be top 6 in the Prem. They think we should.
So do we.
Yeah, I suppose he's got a little point. But no, West Ham are on a different. It's not the West Ham way.
But I think we were talking about earlier as well. I think with West Brom once again, it's still transition because you're looking at Gale's not coming back. Obviously, he's got 25 goals this season. Then you look at J Rodriguez, who's got interest. Burnley, Palace, Leicester. Yeah. He should be in the Premier League as well. Rodriguez, brilliant season for him again. So I mean,
they got loans as well, didn't they? Holgate,
Mason Holgate, etc.
And he did really well, didn't he? Second half of the season.
Yeah, he did. And Order Rabaggio as well. I think from Man City, he was all right as well. And there's going to be a few players outgoing. Isn't there? There was a lot of English loans, wasn't there, last season for the top teams?
If they do get Bilic in the door,
he's going to demand, isn't he?
And he's going to get people wanting to come and play for him, much like Bielsa, you know. I think if you look at list of managers in that division, if Bilic was to come in, I'd put him up there in the top 3, 4,
definitely,
you know?
Yeah.
Definitely, I think he's that good. I do really rate him.
He's sort of, I mean, you look at international managers, and we've got Bielsa, we got Bilic, you know, he's going to be, and it's especially if they back him, mate, they've still got the parachute payments, they're going to get people off the wage structure.
Just shows the standard of the league as well,
it's going to be, I mean, we've said it, haven't we, about the league this year.
How many second divisions across the rest of Europe could pull in names of this ilk? You know, demand transfer fees as much as they do, you know, even going back all the way to McCormack. You know, the amount people are willing to pay for championship players, it doesn't happen anywhere else.
No. It's a Derby. Derby County.
Do you know what? About Derby, listen, they're insignificant to us, let's be honest, right?
Straight away. Stab and twist.
But I do like it. I do like having that little bit of needle. I can't wait for them to come back.
Well, we've got it now. We've got it with so many clubs next year. Exactly. We've got the needle it's got bigger, and it for next year. I mean, we have got needle with so many clubs.
Derby will probably look forward to our game more than they do Forest.
Yeah. Well, Derby. I mean, I was watching their. They've got a. Obviously, we've got LUTV, but they've got an actual Derby County, whatever it is. You know, their sort of official broadcasting network, whatever the hell it is. And I was watching. They did a little
TV, is it?
Something like that. And they did a preview and a review on the Leeds game. And there was an old geezer there who was definitely in the era of your Bremners, your Hunters, etc. And I can't remember his name, but I think he was a centre back for Derby. And he was like, this is the game I look forward to. Leeds United. He loved playing against it. And you wonder with Derby. I mean. I was there in the away game, and there is some real distaste. I mean, Derby cannot stand us, which, all right, fair enough, just add to the list. But we're talking about the football, mate. Tamori, Ashley Cole, Mason Mount, Harry Wilson, all going out the door. And we'll touch on the main man in a second. But I mean, just quality-wise with the players and stuff, how do you project that being a massive impact for Derby?
It's huge, isn't it?
Because the key players aren't. They take out Ashley Cole and
take out Harry Wilson. How many goals did he score? Do you know what I mean?
Scored 18.
He scored a lot of goals. Mason Mount, the only really one that's. I do really like Dwayne Holmes, not going to lie. I thought he was harsh done by when he was brought off in the games. Obviously, it worked in their favour because I thought he was having good games. But I do like Dwayne Holmes. Lawrence is a bit of a knob, but he's all right. You know what I mean? He's a decent championship player.
It's quite insignificant.
Yeah, but the others, you see, they're losing him. You know, Tamori was decent for him at the back as well, wasn't
I thought if Tamori, I've said it all along, if Tamori had I always compare it to Villa. Because Villa had those two centre-backs in Twanzebe and Mings who were just next level. Yeah. But I do feel if Tamori had maybe Hector from Sheffield Wednesday next to him, he'd have been. I think Derby. I just don't get this thing. I mean, they all love him, but I just do not get this thing with Richard Keogh. They all love him though. I just do not get it. And all right, he was brilliant against Leeds in that second leg, but he was coming up against the lamppost, wasn't he? And that was it. Do you know what I mean? It put him up against roof, and he
Oh, let's not do it.
Yeah, let's not get over it again. We are rattled. Yeah. I will confirm that.
Fatty Frank, eh?
Fat Frank. Yeah, I mean, I think he's used the bus pass, hasn't he? 12-month bus pass. I mean, that's it really. I don't think I mean, apparently he's talked with Chelsea this week.
I cannot believe that.
Talks with Chelsea. I mean, he's had a decent season for a first manager, but Derby County as a football club have finished 6th more times than I've got dressed. As a Derby fan, I'd be pretty upset with that. I'd be pretty upset with it.
What's going to happen at the club in terms of obviously the chairman,
Mel Morris, you
know, and they've paid hefty fees for these players on loan, and they're going to lose Frank. Do they have the capital now to go start spending and bringing these loan players back in? I'm not so sure.
It's where they're going to rely on players like Dwayne Holmes and to fit in.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't think Frank's going to be there. But I just think it's absolutely mental that a team of Chelsea's stature in terms of where they are expected to finish year on year, for them to bring in Frank Lampard. But I think a lot of that is to do with sorry to go off topic, it's just a lot of it's to do with maybe Abramovich doesn't want to spend the money he once did. They've got a transfer ban. Do they look at bringing in Frank and Jody, who are going to look at the youth?
Bringing in the youth, like Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount and Tomori and players like that.
And have they been linked with anyone?
Derby. Once again, I mean, the only links I've seen really online scrolling through is Johnny Williams.
Which is really interesting when we go back to the Charlton thing, that Charlton are willing to let him go.
For free as well.
And then he's been linked with teams like Derby and Swansea.
All jokes aside, you know, Derby, big club, great club. We met a couple of their fans last year. Really nice set of lads.
Alex Allen, good
Alex Allen.
Derby County, Fan TV.
Kean as well, really good with us last year.
I know a lot of you might not, but Kean's a good kid, man.
Kean's sound. Kean is sound. With all the heat that's coming on him, there's no need for it. He's a top kid.
There's a bit of clickbait. He's trying to get views. That's all it is, man. He's a young lad.
Leave off him. Derby fans, they're a good laugh, and we give them stick. They give us stick.
It's a bit tongue in cheek. There's no like animosity really there. There is for Frank. If Frank leaves, Derby are just Derby again, if you know what I mean. You're all haters because you're not Leeds. That's the same.
Yeah, that's going to be the dislike ratio right there. But,
we don't care.
Club with going to be there and thereabouts who are quite close to home for you, Joe. Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Middlesbrough. Yeah, they're all thereabouts. I finished about 24th. Weird. Maybe the money's not there like it once was. They've brought in Woodgate maybe because he's a cheap option and he knows a lot of the youth players that they've got. Tavernier, wing. He'll look to give them game time. They're not going to be able to shift players like Britt out. You know, they've got an ageing defence as well. So they're in a bit of a transitional period. Listen, I spoke to one lad yesterday and he genuinely feels they'll probably finish mid-table and then go again the following season. Like Gibbo's trying to go on the charm offensive a little by bringing these people, bringing these names, because maybe they're not gonna go out and spend and expect to be up there.
I agree with Joe. I think Gibson is the best chairman in English football, and you cannot, with it can't all be take. You've got to give a little bit with expectation. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Borough looking at the squad, they probably should be in the top 6. They probably should be, but at the end of the day, mate, you've got to measure expectation. And sometimes that transitional period where you have to finish mid-table, have to finish a little bit more. With Leeds, that happened for about 15 years.
They did. They've got the red screwed on as well, and the ones I speak to anyway. No,
you would rather have a transitional season than go into financial ruin. Because you've got your expectation is to get that, and I think that's what a lot of Borough fans will be thinking. I think, to be honest, it is probably a decent appointment, isn't it?
Yeah. I know some of the fans, like I say, aren't happy with it, but my mates have said it's been nailed on for weeks, really. I know some others were interviewed for the job and some of the demands were crazy and the money's not there, maybe, and I just think it's a safe option. Why not? They're not going to go down, are they? So get someone in, consolidate it a little bit and go again, I think.
Brentford. Brentford, I know me and you massively rate them. I thought over 2 legs against Leeds they were better in both, my personal opinion.
They always are.
At the end of the day, Brentford, for me, in that first game they could have been 3-0 up within about 15 minutes, and that second game, I mean, I'm going to say this every time, but I did call that. I did think that.
I said a draw. I think it
But putting Bielsa in charge of a team like that,
100%. I said when Barbie was linked, we could probably take any of their starting 11 and they would just fit into our team.
I'd have any of them. I'd have any of them. You know, you look at
even Conor and that. Who's sometimes a lot of the time on the bench.
But he always when he plays Leeds, and you know, we always have this thing. You know, you'll play against Leeds, you turn up, but he's always brilliant, and he's the second winger for a budget as Brentford's as well, which isn't going to be as decent as Leeds. Well, but then again, you look at their profit margins, mate, and the players that they bring in and sell on. What was that? Was it Mepham earlier on the season? They brought in for about 250k, 12 million.
How much are they going to sell
Morpay
for?
Ben Rama linked with Villa today. You know what I mean? That's another one who's going to be 11, 12 million. And then they bring it like
their recruitment.
It's unbelievable. It's got to be there.
If they could sort out their away form, they'd be up there, wouldn't they?
I don't know what it is with them away, but they are. Yeah, they were. I mean, the home form was the 4th best in the division last year. Unbelievable, and let's be right, mate. They battered us last year at Griffin Park, didn't they? It was horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It was horrible, but Morpay, Watkins, Hotter. Forget about Hotter as well. You know, that Mepham, Canos, Ben Rama, Yanaris, and they've just brought in. I think it's the first transfer. There's a lad called Norgard, and they brought him in from Bromby. He was with Frank, the manager, at Bromby. Versatile, and he was playing in Serie A last year, and you know he's going to be just going to be another player who's just on the gravy line, who's going to be good and sell on value. But I mean, what's your thoughts on him, mate? This
Yeah, no, like I say, they're a brilliant football inside, aren't they? And we've said before, if you put Bielsa in charge of that side, you know, he's made everyone at Leeds a better player. And look at where they finished; they were 10th or something, you know, and you think, how were they 10th? Because they are that good of the side.
It's unbelievable home form on it. Sheffield Wednesday, Joe.
So we were speaking earlier. I do think they will have a very, very good season under the stewardship of Steve Bruce. I think when he came in, what was it, 10 on the bounce they'd won before they came at Welland Road.
We stopped it, didn't we?
Yeah, and you know they have one, if not the best goalkeeper in the division.
The best for me. I love him. You know I do. Can't help it.
He's unreal. I think it's such a shame that Bruce went in, because I think if he didn't, we probably could have got it done, because the manager before weren't even playing him, which I think is absolutely mental. But yeah, no, they're a good team. There's going to be a bit of turnaround though, isn't there? Obviously, I know we did a bit of homework. Hooper, Boyd, a few, Mateus, who scored the Yeboah-esque goal at Elland Road.
So once again, that's going to be the wage structure's going to free up a little bit again. You know,
be on big wages, players like Hooper and Boyd, won't they?
And you know, and Bruce is going to have links, and he might have links. You know, even at Villa,
and
you know,
bring Alex Bruce back.
Yeah, he might, yeah.
Bristol City. Thoughts, Bristol City. Vidra's been linked, has he?
Yeah, and I think they've got Callas over the line. Apparently they've signed him for 3.5. So Callas, you know, I wanted us to get him a couple of years ago, but obviously we're never going to go there. But
not back then.
Vidra, a massive link there. I mean, that'd be another. I mean, they had Abraham, didn't they, a couple of years ago? That'd be a similar signing.
They've got Wiinman as well.
Wiinman, and the big one, obviously, we were linked with, and I got into a bit of spat with someone on Twitter actually. Josh Brownhill.
Okay.
The centre midfielder, ex-Barnsley, ex-Preston, not been sold for a transfer fee in his life, but a lot of Bristol City fans reckon after his 44 games he's worth 20 to 25 million.
He's worth that, KP, he's looking at about 50.
That's what I was sort of saying with the comments back. I was saying to them, you know, I mean, he scored a couple of goals, been instrumental, I guess, but I mean, we don't watch Bristol City week in, week out, so we don't know. He could be absolutely brilliant. If he is that mould, then yeah, but it looks like there's a lot of clubs interested, so maybe the Bristol City fans are right. Maybe he is worth that.
Kelly, Bournemouth.
Yeah, Lloyd Kelly. He was. Yeah, they signed him for 13 mil.
Has that been? When was that done?
A couple of weeks ago now.
13 mil?
Yeah, 13 mil. But Bristol City fans, a lot of them didn't rate him. I mean, when he was at Elland Road, remember that first time he was the left back, he actually played. Joe's not got a good memory.
My memory's shot. 31 now, I'm getting older.
Recent, obviously Brownhill, talking about him, he got sent off, and that's when we scored twice after that. Do you remember it was a bit of a stalemate?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, because Lee Johnson, remember he
we didn't deserve anything.
The game, because he said I'd love to play him in the playoffs, and did they get in the playoffs?
No, I don't think they did. 2 games against Bristol City, I didn't think they were massively great. I think one of the best things they need to up on, mate, is the centre forwards. You know, they miss sort of that Abraham. You know, they've got Wiinman in and out, but I mean, they tried to do us a favour. They beat Sheffield United,
scored a hat-trick Wiinman,
but we couldn't capitalise on it. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Right, that moves us on to Forest. So I've been in touch with Mr. Daw, fan of the channel. we're a fan of his. We met him at the Football Blogging Awards, because what happened was we were looking at Forest, can't find any links. So there's just the one link, so he'll have his ear close to the ground. I know he's pretty pally with people high up at the club as well, wasn't he?
Because they help them out with Twitter, don't they?
Yeah, he was speaking to us before. I think if we get away at Forest, we'll have to get ourselves in the box. So if you're watching, Mr. Daw, we want an invite.
Yeah.
But yeah, one link, Gavin White. I think we were linked with him maybe last season from a winger from Oxford.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only really link we can find. Obviously, they've got Joe Lolly, Carvalho,
called Joe Worrell, who pretty much played every single game for Rangers last year, and we
right back.
Right back, centre back,
right,
yeah,
okay.
and he's just. I thought he looked really, really good at Rangers. I didn't know if he was part of their youth system he'd come up, but it seems like he was on loan from Forest. So, sort out a couple of the defensive issues. I know defensively they weren't great, but I think the main thing to touch on, mate, with Forest is it's the bizarre transition from Karanka to O'Neill, isn't it? Because it's not worked at all, has it?
I think a lot of Forest fans who are watching this, if they are, will agree with us. I think getting rid of Karanka was the wrong decision.
Mental, yeah.
Wrong decision.
They weren't far off either.
No,
they had that mad game against Villa, didn't they? It was 5-5.
I'd been 80% sure that if they'd be up there this season, if they still had Karanka, I'd be like looking at them now. I think, what are they going to do?
They lost the likes of Joe Lolly,
who
we forget is going to be at Huddersfield next year. There's another player there who's done it in the Championship, another good player. But yeah, I think their big one is keeping all that Carvalho they bought in for about 11 to 13 million.
Did it really work? He looked sorry to swear, but he looked garbage against us, I thought. He was garbage.
In that game against Forest, the game against, I don't know if
Jack Colback scored 2 goals.
Did he score Carvalho?
No.
Did he not? Okay.
Jack Colback, of all people.
Colback, yeah.
Scored 2 goals,
but he was good from last season. They've lost him as well.
Yeah?
Forest, they've lost him as well. He was on loan from Newcastle.
Was he only on loan?
Yeah, I think so,
right,
yeah. Once again, it's what we were talking about earlier, mate. It's these loan signings from the Premier League that teams are losing out on.
Swansea, Dan James. It's still his son. It really gets me
hurts.
That deal. Yeah,
Still
I just
hurts.
don't understand it. I don't know whether to blame the club, but I know Rad's got involved in the deal. I know we spoke about on Talking Short, and Gary, who's very knowledgeable, basically said, even Rad's got involved in that deal to try get it done, and it really pains me, the Hugh Jenkins thing, where he vetoed it, much like the Fur to Villa, and then a couple of days later left his position. But now I bet they're thinking, I'm glad you did that, because he's ended up going for Scum, to Scum for
It's a great decision, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's a great decision.
I think
for
there's
Swansea.
a lot of link there with Ryan Giggs as well. I think he's been in his ear at the Welsh international setup and said.
Yeah, he is. I've said it on my video as well. I think if we'd have got Dan James, I think would have come top 2. Surgeons of pace and goals, and he's.
Well, do you remember that goal when he ran from inside his own half? I forget who it was against, but it was a
in the cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Soul destroying that. We let that one drag out and drag out and drag out. Like I do
and
feel.
Not even have any other options.
No, and I do feel we always do that. We leave it and leave it, and that's what we're hoping doesn't happen this window.
It looks positive that's not what's happening. This time.
Got to take lessons from that.
Yeah, 100%. I think this time last season was Bielsa even confirmed yet? Probably not. I don't.
True. Yeah.
We have a new manager, Cooper, Welsh, ex-Liverpool and international manager, I believe. Was it you were telling me before? He was the team that won the World Cup with Lewis Cook.
Bill Foden, Jadon Sancho, Lewis Cook, and he won the World Cup, and he's done his years. He was Liverpool academy manager as well. He's done his time, mate, and he deserves a shot. And apparently, with the interviews that there was multiple people who was interviewed, and apparently he was the one who stood out. So I quite like how Swansea do things. Really, I quite like how they give sort of unknowns a chance. Similar at Brentford, isn't it?
Yeah. Reading. Okay, so again, not much I can see in terms of looking over, social media and stuff, trying to get some links. Probably a good thing that O'Shea and McShane won't be there next season. Yeah,
damn it.
I think O'Shea might have retired, and McShane's been released.
They'll sign for someone, won't they?
Probably League One. Just
get him in at Sunderland again.
Yeah. Ovie Ejario likely to return on loan from Liverpool, so that's positive. I did see Liam Moore linked with Celtic though, and I think,
you rate him, don't you?
Yeah, I think he'd be. I think he's a top quality ball playing centre back.
We were in for him at one point, weren't we?
I think it's crazy he stayed at Reading as long as he had. I'm almost certain, and I might be wrong, but I swear a couple of seasons ago under Wenger, Arsenal were looking at him.
Was he Chelsea, Liam Moore, originally, or was it?
Sure.
I can't remember where he was originally.
I might have just thought that up, but I do believe Wenger looked at him.
Maybe
one
under the radar, maybe.
Yeah.
But if they've not got a bad team. Mo Barrow as well, who seems to pull up strings for those lads. And you could see towards the end of the season, I think it was either 6 or 7 wins in about 11 or 12.
He gave a lot of the youth debuts as well, so maybe he's going down that road.
John Swift as well, that CAM. He was a good little ball player.
Yeah.
So I think Redknapp's just about consolidating and making sure they stay in the division, which I think they will do.
Yeah. Warburton brought in thoughts.
But it's an upgrade on McLaren.
Anything's an upgrade.
Yeah,
Me and you was an upgrade. Do you know what I mean?
think McLaren. I think McLaren just. But they should have just got him back at Borough. Yeah, it's the only thing that he's done in it.
He should not now. And there's a lot of managers in this bracket for me. Mark Hughes is one of them. McLaren,
Allardyce.
They shouldn't be getting jobs anymore. They should have done this time. Yeah, he was one, wasn't he? I just think McLaren is done now. Mate, they are looking to strengthen. They've been linked with Tommy Elphick on a free from
QPR.
Villa. Yeah. Alan Judge as well from newly relegated Ipswich.
They'd be good signings.
Yeah.
They'd be really good signings.
And I believe they're going in for another loan spell for Naki Wells.
Look at Elphick, mate. Elphick went to Hull, and that's when Hull went through that period of winning about 8 games on the bounce. You know,
I think it'd be ideal for a team like QPR.
Free transfer as well.
100%. Yeah. Wigan. So again, I mean it's rugby town, innit, Wigan?
Yeah.
So like I say, I kept looking for stuff, and all I got was
Paul Cook the prop.
all I got was Wigan chat. So sorry, Wigan fans. And I just think what you did to us on Easter, that's all you're getting. So we're going to mention that Massey scored against us. He's looking at getting
Ballon d'Or, isn't it?
I think he's looking at getting a new deal as well. But that's it for Wigan, other than rugby chat.
Yeah, we get a lot of Blues on the channel. Yeah. So hello, you blue noses. Blues, good club again. Got
a good manager.
Good manager in Monk. I mean, we all.
As much as that pains me to say,
the needle's gone now. I don't know.
For me, I just dislike the guy. I hate him.
The needle's gone now. Like, we've moved on to better things. I think you know, him and his mindset and his philosophy, his ways of playing. I think he has as well. You know, Blues are a perfect club for him. Yeah. They've brought in the likes of Gary Gardner, got on that swap deal with Hotter. Weird one for me that for Blues. Really weird. I mean.
Villa have ended up with a good part of the deal, but
trying to get his dislikes on this, I was.
I know, yeah. Very.
I think it's one of those where Gary Gardner was decent for Blues last year, but I mean, Hotter still for Birmingham.
What did they pay for him as well? They paid a big fee.
Hotter, it was when Redknapp was there, wasn't it? Redknapp was bringing Harley Dean and Hotter.
When he went mental, didn't he? That's another one who should get another job as well. I'll put him in. All Roberts, he does is come in, spends cash, and gets clubs into disarray. Look at Portsmouth where they are now. Do you know clubs like that? Because he's gone wild.
They brought that brilliant lad in as is it Maxine Collin, the right back who Birmingham fans absolutely love. He was brilliant against us as well. You know, just completely kept our any attacking threat we had.
Conor Mahoney, obviously he's now gone back to Bournemouth. It's up in the air. I know Gary Monk and I think Birmingham fans want him back, but I've read that Eddie Howe might be taking him on the pre-season tour with Bournemouth, so that'll be.
He must have done quite well from there. He played well against us both games, Mahoney, and the thing is with Birmingham is they've got a good structure. You look at if they keep hold of Shea, it's early, but they keep hold of him, mate. They sprinkle that with a little bit of new additions.
He was unplayable both games.
He's ridiculous. He's an unbelievable player.
Finish in the away game.
He is quite. I'd love someone like Shea at Leeds.
He would be perfect.
But then you look at Jukovic, obviously getting on a bit, but he's just a rock in a Jukovic and playing that little man off him. Monk's 4-4-2. He's got it spot on, and you forget they finished 17th last year, 9 points deducted.
Yeah. I seen a crazy link. I think it was Wigan. Sorry to go back to the rugby club, but Jukovic and being linked with Wigan. I think it's just total BS, because surely Birmingham won't want to get rid of Jukovic.
Joe will be having a hernia.
Well, they already are, aren't they, with the yacht, with the Jota thing, But
I think it's madness, the Jota thing for me. But as I say, they all rate Gary Gardner, but I feel losing a creative player like Hotter.
But in the games we played, he didn't start. He kept bringing him off the bench. So was Monk keen on him? Maybe not.
But yeah, I think Blues. It's going to be another season of transition again. But I think he'll make you solid, and I think they'll do okay. Yeah. They won't go up. They won't go down.
Yeah. Jones, there's quite a lot of upheaval for me that still needs to be done at Stoke. Obviously, they've been linked with a few players. Nick Powell, Lee Gregory from Millwall, which is he's leaving Millwall after 5 years at the club. So, you know, is it a change of tact? Are they going for lesser known players in the Championship, because they've still got players like Joe Allen, Jack Butland? You know, I've read I've read Nathan Jones has said Bojan's still got a chance at Stoke. So some of the names is mad, but
not for me. I
think Jack Butland's been told as well, I think, by Southgate, you need to play in the Premier in order to be.
Well, which is fair enough, isn't it? It's fair enough. It's
yeah.
it was like you know, as hard as it is to say, it's like with Phillips, isn't it? He's never going to get a call up to the England squad if he doesn't play in the Premier League. And you know, you look at Jack Grealish. That's why it was a perfect for Grealish. You know, that's why he was so elated, because he wants to play for England. Now he's got the perfect chance. You know, so what, mate? It's why you get people like Twan Zebi going back to Scum and wanting to feature. It's because he wants to play in the long run for England.
So let me just I'm going to give you some names about some of the quality that could be outgoing. Obviously, you've got Jack Butler and Joe Allen, Eric Peters. You've got a few others, and then they're looking at players like Adam Davies on a free from Barnsley, goalkeeper. Pennington, which is a mental one for me when you've got Shawcross. But are they looking at getting rid of some of these players, you know, that have been there a while? Gregory and Nick Powell.
I could be completely wrong, but for me, I think it's once again with a team like Stoke, like we were saying earlier, it's the transition, it's coming down, it's shredding all the crap and bringing in young, hungry English players. And I understand what they're trying to do. Yeah. Like, you know, Nick Powell, brilliant sign. If they get that over the line, I think he's a quality player.
Well, like you said before about the links to the Premier League, and he's turned him down to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he now, with being linked to Stoke, is he now looking at it and thinking, maybe I made the wrong decision?
Maybe, And I just think, to be honest, I think, you know, you look at the amount of players Stoke have got on the book. Like you said, mate, Butland, Shawcross.
He was linked with Villa, Butland, 20 million. It's a lot to pay, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that, will they, Villa? I don't think they'll get that over the line. But I just think there's a lot of that Stoke squad which needs to, and I think for Stoke it's going to be another season of transition. Yeah.
Blackburn then.
Blackburn.
I like going to Blackburn, you know. I like
it's good away day, isn't it?
It is. But yeah, Jack Rodwell.
Especially when they beat us.
Yeah, I got that game, you know, I walked out and we were 1-0 down.
One of the stupid games we shouldn't have lost again.
Yeah. But yeah, Jack Rodwell, new deal, the mercenary that is, Jack Rodwell.
I wonder how much that contract is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It'll be nothing now, though, will it? I mean, he's already been set for life the way he treated Sunderland.
5-year contract, wasn't it? Yeah.
But they have been linked with Glenn Whelan and Stewie Downing.
Decent signings, decent signings. Mowbray links as well.
I think Stewie Downing's done, but that's just my opinion. The interesting one though is going to be Bradley Dack. Mowbray said no, he's confident he'll stay, but I have seen that he's been linked with Villa and Derby.
Well, they slapped 20-25 million in front of him. As a Championship club, you're not going to be able to turn that down.
Yeah.
I think Dack's Premier League.
Do you? Really?
I don't know what it is about.
Where would he fit in that Villa side though, when you've got Grealish, Shurahan, these type of
Is it
bodies?
Villa are interested in?
Well, that's what I've seen. Again, it might not be genuine. You know what Twitter and everything's like, you know. Yeah. If you read our Twitter, bloody hell, we're getting Mbappe and Neymar on loan, for God's sake. But again, I might be wrong, but I did see Villa and Derby.
You look at sort of a Palace, wouldn't you? You know, where he could be linking up with Zaha or maybe Townsend or something like that. Just that number 10 role. But I think he is absolutely class. You look at his assists, his goals this season. He's pretty much kept Blackburn up around there. The thing is, mate, it's the same thing with Saiz. He just occupies players as well, which frees up other players. And I think Dack is. I think he is a
top player.
Cut above.
Preston, Callum Robinson could be on his way out. Now, there's a few clubs that have been linked. I've seen Sheffield United, Middlesbrough and Brighton all linked with
good
Callum.
Player,
yeah, good player. So that'll be interesting. And then, total scratch of the head for both of us when we read it, Dave Nugent.
Yeah, big Dave. still getting a decent move.
It's like what's his face, isn't it? Rhodes. You know, they're just Championship.
And to be honest, I don't know if it's waffle, guys. I mean, we're not sure if it's waffle, but Dave Nugent, I mean, is that? I mean, if the rumours are true, I mean, if you're a Preston fan, would you be happy with Dave Nugent replacing Callum Robinson? I wouldn't be. I mean, I think Callum Robinson, once again, he's kept them in the position he's in. He's been brilliant these last couple of years.
That's why he's been linked with Premier League, Brighton and Sheffield United. Yeah, that's what I'm reading anyway. You know.
But I mean, would you want a Dave Nugent a playoff chasing team? No, probably not.
I don't. Honestly, I think he's scored He hasn't scored many at all.
Has he still got a contract at Derby, or have they let him go?
I'm not sure, but where was he at before? I think he spent some time at Borough as well, didn't he?
He's been everywhere, hasn't he, Nugent?
Yeah. was it Portsmouth as well? Did Harry Redknapp bring him to Prem? I think give him a go there. But that
scored that wonderful goal versus England, didn't he? For England, where he robbed someone. It was against Albania. It was about 7-0.
Hull's an interesting one. Adkins leaving. I think that's a massive loss. When I seen that, it was before obviously Borough announced. Well, is it announced yet? I don't know if it's official yet, but I think it's near enough done. But I thought Adkins was going to go to Borough, but turns out not. So where's he going to come up? Where's he going to show up next? Because I thought he did a good job there.
Brilliant job. I mean, mate, at the start of the season, they were the bookies' favourites to go down, and what he's done with Grzycki, brought him on. Jared Bowen, he's pretty much.
Do you think they'll be there next year?
Bowen, I'd be stunned. I'd be stunned. I think Bowen, once again, another one who's Premier League. I don't see why he's proven himself. Mate, every time when we played Hull in that game at home, he was just.
They both were though, weren't they?
I just thought. I mean, it was one of the games where you just thought, right, we're struggling to match up with this lot now. They've sort of driven out Bruce, they've driven out Adkins. You know, what are they looking for now? What do they want?
Millwall. So yeah, Ben Thompson, club legend for them. I think I've seen a few bits on Lions TV. Signed a new long-term deal.
He's the best player at Albion.
Alex Pearce has been signed from Derby after a successful loan. The interesting one is player of the year last year.
Steve Morrison. Oh.
The shift still will be there.
Steve Morrison
giving it the big one before the game and then not even making an appearance.
It's a big game, isn't it? Gets everything washed for the Leeds game.
But Lee Gregory, set to leave, player of the year. We said earlier he's been linked with Stoke. Can they replace him? Jamal Law's been linked 2 million, I think.
I think with Millwall, with the greatest of respect, it's always going to be sort of the top League One players that they target. And you know, someone like Jamal Lowe, obviously a winger, but he's going to be those sort of players, isn't it? The ones maybe. I don't know, maybe the Sunderland players, maybe they go for someone like a Will Grigg, maybe someone like that, you know.
Because it hasn't really worked for him at Sunderland, you know.
No, I mean, it just somewhat, but it is difficult now because you've got such big teams in that League One now, you know, you look at the likes of Sunderland.
I'm surprised no one don't take Aidan McGeady because he's been class for Sunderland this year and he's definitely got some, and he did well at Preston. So,
but I just don't know why if you were Jamal Lowe you do that. I don't get Portsmouth, big club, they'll probably get to the Championship next season, they'll probably build a little bit under Kenny Jackett. Don't really understand why you'd make that knee-jerk move.
And Millwall aren't the nicest club either, let's be honest.
Yeah, well,
more dislikes.
But,
I'll tell you what we will do, as I say, we're going to meet again in a couple of weeks' time, probably a week before season starts when everything will get wrapped up, and maybe we'll have a look at these teams again and see what incomings and outgoings, because ultimately, you know, there hasn't been many deals done.
So we're just going to do it and see what transfers have been done then, you know, if our sort of opinions have changed on each and every club. Probably do a little bit of an hour segment like we've done now, talk on every club a little bit more, but a little bit probably more specific. So, anything to add, Joe? You hungry?
I'm starving, but be nice. Be nice, okay? Because like I say, we know about Leeds, but not a lot about all clubs, so be nice. But thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe, guys, and we'll see you in a bit.